Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about a few things. A lot of stuff has released now. We have the new Dark Angel stuff to talk about, the new Sisters of Silence Imperial Index, which is coming in next month's White Dwarf, which I have a little bit to say about, and of course the Bandai Space Marine figure, which is now on pre-order at the time of recording this video. So let's jump in and let's have a little talk about it all. So if you haven't been following the updates over on the Warhammer community website, they put out a post previewing October's White Dwarf, and the big preview when it comes to 40k is Index Imperialis, which is basically an index dedicated to the Sisters of Silence. The article actually states that there is also an up-to-date data sheets and point values for 3 varieties of Silent Sister squads, as well as their bespoke transport, the Null, Maiden, Rhino. So it looks like this Index Imperialis is going to be a bit more packed out than the Dark Angel one we got last month. I was really hyped for that, and it just turned out to be basically a game versus Fallen, no real rules that you could use anywhere else on the tabletop. Kind of a letdown, kind of really sucker punched me and took the air out of my sails. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be like that at all. It actually could be like that. You know, we don't know at this moment in time. We don't know if maybe you can only use it against a certain faction or something like that. That's what happened with the Dark Angel one last month. One thing I would say about this whole Sister of Silence thing is that I am very let down by the way they have been put out by GW. Now, when the Adeptus Custodi Codex got put out, I thought it would be the Talons of the Emperor, which featured both the Adeptus Custodes and the Sisters of Silence. But it wasn't. It was Adeptus Custodes, and I thought to myself, well, maybe the Sisters are going to get their full codex, and they're going to have like the range launch that the Adeptus Custodes has. You know, that would be amazing. New models, new tanks, new everything like that. Amazing, because I'm a massive fan of the Sisters, and I still think that without the Sisters of Silence, the Custodes cannot really work in full effect. They basically go hand in hand with each other when it comes to their warfare, you know, doing everything. These guys guarded the Emperor of Mankind. They're so important. They really are important. And the Sisters are way more badass than the Sisters of Battle. I know people disagree. I love the Sisters of Battle, don't get me wrong. I think the Sisters of Battle have great theme. They have great lore to their army and stuff. But the OG Sisters were the Sisters of Silence. They are back in the day during the Siege of Terror, defending the webway, cutting off demons' heads and stuff. These girls are amazing. They've got so much rich background to them, and I feel so sorry that they've only got a couple of units, and you know, it's basically one set box of Marines that you can repose in 2 different areas, where it's, you know, bolters or big power swords. That's basically it. They've got no HQs. They've got, you know, like no elite units, no heavy units. Their only vehicle is the bloody Null Maiden Rhino, which you just drive around trying to block off psychers and stuff. Of course, that is part of their tactics, but you know, I wanted a bit more for him. I wanted more vehicles. I wanted more variety. I wanted more HQ units when it comes to the Sister of Silence army. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that they will still get something some time in the future, because of course the big rift that's happening and the psychic awakening that's happening, surely the Sisters have to get something. They are basically the anti-psycho force when it comes to the Imperium. Without the Sisters of Silence, the Imperium would be in a lot worse state than it is now, and we all know it's in a bad state, but without the Sisters of Silence, they'd be even in a bigger mess. So it really pains me that they've only got this. Again, fingers crossed that they do get some cool stuff in this index, but just after, you know, reading the Dark Angel one, I'm kind of scared. I'm excited and I'm scared at the same time. I'm excited that they could get something, but I'm scared that the potential of the something they get is just going to be crap. So yeah, it's a bit of, you know, in and out the door at the moment on this article. I cannot wait to see it, you know, start dropping and people start posting pictures of it. Hopefully they get some really powerful stuff, so I can actually bring them. I can actually bring them with my Adeptus Custodes on the bloody battlefield. Right, let's move on to the next subject, which is of course the Bandai new Space Marine model, which I have to say, it looks absolutely fantastic. I love the look of it. I love how you just put it on your desk for the rule of cool and just have it there, standing there looking over you. It is amazing things. I'm so glad GW are going into this side of the market. Hopefully we'll get more and stuff, and what I'd be my more like other chapters, maybe, you know, Terminators, Gravis Armor, Jump Marines, Shield Bros, Breachers, you know, all that kind of stuff you expect when you come to the Space Marine arsenal. Hopefully they go down that route. And also, not only Space Marines, hopefully other races get it. Orcs, Tau, Eldar, Chaos Space Marines. You know, I am an Imperial fanboy, but I want you guys to get it. Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard will look fantastic in this, because they're basically just like action men. For those of you in the UK who used to collect action men when they were young, like myself, it's basically just a full-grown army of action men, and I would be completely sold on that. One of the things I didn't like about this is that they're going to be limited to 9,000. It actually has a little infogram on the GW website. I'll put it in the background if you want to see it. It says we can make 9,000. Make sure you get one. Pre-order October the 5th, which is today of recording this video, of course, on GamesWorkshop.com. Order closes on the 2nd of November, or when we hit 9,000. So it's basically first come, first serve. If the full 9,000 go today, then that's it. It's gone. You won't get them then. They did mention that you will be able to get some at certain events throughout the year, but that's got to be a few and far in between and stuff like that. The best place to get them now is to go and pre-order these things right at this moment in time. As I'm recording this video, I'm up on the GW website, and there is still ones in stock, so they haven't sold out. What my biggest fear was about all of this was that the scalpers would get on and they would buy them in their droves, and then the next thing we know, when these things are released, they'll all be on eBay for triple, double, whatever the extortionate prices those bastards always do to us when it comes to like limited edition 40k products. But alas, that is not the problem at this time anyway. As I said, as I'm recording this in the morning, it is just gone 12, and they're still in stock, and they're in stock for £75, by the way. I think that is a pretty decent price tag, and I'll tell you why I think it's a pretty decent price tag. These things are big. They're bigger than a knight. They're fully adjustable, as it says. You can put them in poses. Of course, they're not really there to play in tabletop, unless, you know, you have the really cool, like, RPG team, and you have, this is your character, you know, like you're having Dungeons and Dragons, and maybe you can, like, just have him there on the table. This is what my guy looks like if you want to green stuff and fancy him up. You know, that could be possibly, you know, one of the ways to use it in a tabletop-esque game. But more on that, it's just a piece of thing that just goes on your desk, or, you know, maybe on a bookcase or in a display cabinet, just for the rule of cool. It comes fully painted as well. That is one of the big bonuses to this. It is a fully painted model. You won't have to paint it. But then again, that is kind of a disadvantage as well from my viewpoint, because I would have preferred it to come blank, because I want to paint it as an Imperial Fist. And I know I can just repaint it as an Imperial Fist, but I just like the option where they just did blank ones, you know, so it's just, like, if I bought this, is it going to come fully assembled like this, or do I have to assemble it? Do I have to, like, start ripping off the knee pads and ripping off the shoulder pads, like getting a bloody, you know, metal thing on there and really doing some damage? I'm not too sure how it's all going to come. So that's why I just preferred it to be blank, and we just assembled it and we paint it in our own little way, as we, you know, normally do. Anyway, I think it's great. Am I going to buy one? I'm still torn at this time. I'm not too sure. My finger is hovering. Get back here. It's hovering over the add to cart, but it's just that. Does it come fully assembled? Is it going to be a pain for me repainting it? That is the only thing that's holding me back at the moment in time. And let's move on to the last subject of the video, which is, of course, the Dark Angels. Saving the best to last, because these are very, very, very good. Now, I know, like, we always like to banter the Dark Angels, saying, of course, it's chaos in here. You know, it's all fun. You know, I get bantered a lot because I'm an Imperial Fist fanboy. These people mention this Iron Cage, whatever that is. I have no idea what it is. You know, Fist Exemplar? Who are they? Never heard of him. You know, it's just, you know, people making things up to try and make themselves look cool. But anyway, when we come to these new Horus Heresy figures for the Dark Angels, I've got to say, GW have knocked it out of the park. The Leviathan itself is probably one of the best Leviathans I've ever seen. There's probably two that I hold in regard to this, and that is the White Scar one. I completely love the White Scar one, and also the Night Lord one. I love the Night Lord one with the little guys, like, all, like, stitched all over it and stuff. But this one is definitely up there at being one of the kings when it comes to the Leviathans. I've always wanted a Leviathan to add it to my army, but with the whole theme I'm going for, with, like, you know, the Primaris vibe and stuff like that, I decided not to add one, because narrative and stuff, and I like to make my armies narrative and stuff like that, so that's why I haven't added one. But you can see the images. It's up in pre-order right now on the Forge World website. I think it's great. I think they've knocked it out of the park. $83 it is. Sorry, yes, $83. What is it in pounds? Let me just change my currency. So $83, £53, and that is just for the body. Again, Forge World are always going to be a bit spicy when it comes to pricing, as we're all fully aware. But it's a great model. It's a great model. I'm sure with the way, like, you know, Space Marines are at the moment, I know technically Dark Angels don't get combat doctrines and stuff, but what's to say this is not a successor chapter, and you can, you know, maybe take some rules and, you know, have them kind of Dark Angelish. But yeah, these things are performing on the tabletop. They are really, really good. If you really want to be a heretic, add some Iron Hand symbols on there and just, you know, be one of those players. There's so many Iron Hands players at this moment in time. It's like, where have you all come from? You've all come out the woodwork all of a sudden. Hey, I've always been an Iron Hands player. I've always supported Ferris. Ferris was my favourite Primarch. He's like, are you sure? Are you really, really sure? Of course you are. God damn it. These goddamn competitive players. And the second release is, of course, the Praetor as well. And I've got to say, I like the Praetor. I see the Praetor as some absolutely cracking Black Templar conversions. Again, I know it's a Dark Angel. Dark Angel fans are like, how dare you, Valrak? How absolute dare you? This is for my Dark Angel. I'm just seeing Black Templar. I'm sorry. I see a sword, I see a shield, I'll cut off that little wing, and yeah, it is full on crusading in Sigismund's name for me. Now, there's been a little bit of talk about the face. A lot of people are saying I hate the face and stuff like that. Do you know what the face reminds me of? And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Mr. Kirioth, I thought this guy looked like you know, with like your beard and stuff like that. I was like, oh my god, is that Kirioth? Kirioth has got his own model. Don't worry, Kirioth, I'm Tor Garadon, apparently, with my big meaty meathead face. So it was like Kirioth's got a model now, and Valrak is Tor Garadon with his, you know, big chungus chin. So yes, it's glad that GW are taking some points from these channels and making models of us and stuff like that. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's not based on him, or I'm sure it's, you know, Tor Garadon and his epic chin is not based on me. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic model. I love it. I think the rule of cool is amazing. I know the Dark Angel people who are my friends. I know having Dark Angel friends, I know it's a whole different bowl of heresy. But they are over the moon with this. They love him as soon as they can. Well, I think they've already bought him now. I think they're just waiting for the paycheck to come in, if I'm not mistaken. And they're going to be added into the carts, and yeah, they're going to be a part of their army. So yeah, I think they've done a cracking job. Onwards and upwards, and let's see what they come out with next. Hopefully from Forge World, it's going to be another Primarch. I am dying to see Jagatai Khan in Primarch form. If they don't do him on a jet bike, I am going to cry like an Iron Warrior into a pillow, because I just can't get my own way. Right, that is me done for another video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. It's been fun. It's been emotional. Everyone have a great day. If you've got any thoughts, feedback at all on all the products you've seen, you know, what your opinion is, post them below in the comment section, and we'll have a nice little talk as always down there. See you now. Have a great day, and bye-bye.